Hey y'all, welcome back after what seems to be forever. We have decided to continue to record the Man in the Musings podcast, I promise. Um, but life has been in the way for about all of us. And tonight, as you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, we have a black screen because Cyrus' camera is not working. And my co-host tonight is Cyrus because if you haven't figured this out, then you've been living under a rock. Kevin decided to rupture his Achilles now 2.5, 3 weeks ago.
That,
And
that was probably my fault, to be honest
yeah,
with you.
we'll get to that.
Oh, yeah,
We'll
yeah.
get to this. But he is still in recovery mode. He had surgery. He's doing good. I think day 11 after surgery. Um, so he's in better spirits, but still. Um, so hopefully that all gets better. I have told him that the goal is High Rocks 2026 is the goal for next year for him to be back to 100%. I'm thinking he can. Yeah, it's Kevin. I have total faith in him. So, but Cyrus, welcome back. Happy to have you. Good to talk with you. Can't see you. That's probably not a bad thing.
This is just not the way it's supposed to work out today. I got a camera basically for this, so I didn't have to open my laptop every 2 seconds when I needed it. So it is.
It is what it is. Um, but yeah, well, let's just dive into it. We're going to try to keep this one under an hour or at an hour, but it's Cyrus and I, and there's a lot of NBA talk to go through because there's a lot happening with the second day of free. Oh, there's a camera. All right, it works.
I
He's
got it.
now we
Got it.
now we get to see Cyrus's cute face.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, so there's a lot going on. We'll talk about a bunch of stuff happening. Um, No, we'll just get going. So let's be honest. There's some crazy shit happening, not just in the basketball world, but we are just under a year from the start of the World Cup here in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Um, I think they showed ticket prices for this, just like for the first round is like $500.
it
And
depends. It depends on which stadium you go to.
well,
They're been hitting high. Like I was looking for because there's a couple of them. Like we went to Myrtle Beach, and you drive past a couple of states.
they have
You
they'll,
know,
they're gonna
yeah,
have games here at Gillette, so
yeah.
that's about an hour from me. I don't think those are too reasonably priced. And I know after the football season this year, they're going to rip up and put in grass because they have to have the grass field. Um, but
It was artificial. It was artificial the whole time.
it's been artificial for at least the last 15 years.
Okay,
It's been like that hybrid artificial kind of
I
grass.
got.
Um, but yeah, so they'll have that. And then, I've looked at MetLife because that's where the final is going to be, is at
You.
MetLife. A box right now starting at MetLife is 25,000. It's like I'm just going to find like 100 of my friends and everyone paid $250, right?
It's
That
not a bad deal.
that 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 would do it. Oh my God. Guess who's
I
here?
know. He's here.
He's here.
He's here.
He's here. This is the most exciting news of my day. This is like the
I
most exciting
know,
things happening. Like Kevin
Mr. Cueva.
says audio is connected. We'll see if his picture decides to show up instead of this small itty bitty one.
We're here, guys.
Yes!
Yeah, God!
My gosh.
With the
Oh,
Stanley, with the Stanley and the Hard Rocks on. Love
you
it.
finally took the little wrap around the Stanley off. It took you a freaking week.
Yeah, I had people yell at me about it, so I was like, let me just take it off so I don't get made fun of any longer.
I'm glad they made fun of you because if I saw it again with another picture of you and your Stanley with a tag still on it, I would have said something to you.
I know. It's okay. But it's off. But sup, y'all? It's
Hey,
been a
buddy, how you feeling?
while. We're rocking. We're doing the best we can out here. I'm currently have my leg propped up on my little scooter. My leg right there.
Hey,
And
Hey.
yep, that's what we got. We're just taking it day by day. Uh, one day at a time, just trying to heal up as much as I can. So,
Hey,
I don't know, does anybody even know on here? Have we discussed what has happened to me?
we
We have not
discussed that
yet.
you ruptured your Achilles. We have not gotten to the story of how it happened. The three of us know how it happened,
Yeah,
because two of you were there, and I saw the images afterwards.
yeah.
Um,
So it's torn, pretty much a full tear.
dude, I showed the picture to Ashley, and she was like, "Oh,
Yep. So what really when we saw the MRI, that's
Mm.
when she pretty much said it was like it's not an actual full tear. It was literally hanging on by a thread. It's but she treated it like a full tear.
mhm."
But yeah, played basketball with Cyrus. Literally took 5 times running up and down the court to go down.
And you did a
Five
whole
minutes.
High Rocks event, totally fine.
Did a whole High Rocks event. I ran a 5K the week before, and it took 5 minutes to take me out for the summer. So kind of a bummer, but honestly, it could be worse. Could be way worse.
Yeah,
Um, I should be walking by the time we go to the brawl. So
awesome.
that is what we're on pace. My doctor said that my thing is healing a lot faster than is expected. So making it happen. But yeah, pretty much like I guess I planted when I went to go run after a rebound, and then pretty much uh pretty much it was done from there. But a lot of people kept telling me, dude, you walked out of there afterwards. And I didn't go to the doctor until 2 days after, which again, people were like, you mean didn't you didn't go to the doctor like right away? I was like, no, because I didn't know where to go. That shout out to my friend. She works at one of our like little clinics over here that got me in super quick on the Monday.
Mm,
But
dude.
yeah, everyone has been like, I don't know how you didn't like call an ambulance. Like, I don't know how you walked out of there, but
Yo, I just remember you texting me because I saw the post of you playing basketball. You're like, I haven't done this in a while. I'm like, how'd it go? Oh, not good. And it was like texting back and forth for like the rest of the day. And he's like, I think I just pulled my calf. So I'm like, yeah, just go ice it, do that, like
Right.
pull it out. And then he posts later, I'm like, yo, is your leg bruised? He goes, no, it's just how my skin looks. I'm like, okay, all right.
so it didn't honestly, the bruising didn't show through completely until the Monday. The
Yeah.
Monday, you really saw the bruising. Um,
Oh,
but that's when I was like, and I could barely walk. I was like, man, this is not good. And pretty much when I went in, they gave me X-ray, ultrasound. They're like, I'm like 99.9% sure that it's like
torn.
torn. But then we put in the MRI, and then you guys see the little photo that I sent you guys. That's pretty much told the whole story. But they got me in quick. I got the surgery. It's crazy because it's like it's really only been in retrospect like only 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's
It
only been
it's been super
you
like fast.
you had surgery 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're at the point, have they cleared you to start doing anything like PT or like any type
Not
of
yet. Not yet. Pretty much all right now. So I'm gonna be on this for the next week again. She like double wrapped me. I have an appointment next Tuesday, to just see how it is. If everything heals well, I can get the stitches out, and I'll most likely be in a boot, and then the boot for a couple weeks, and then PT starts. So
Yeah,
nice.
but if you look at some of the guys that have had the same injury, which has been a rash of them lately, it's been about 2 months with the boot and the wrap, and then you can get to walk around in normal footwear. You just running, explosiveness, all that stuff. You just won't be able to do it. Like you can be able to walk, but you won't be able to move like you want to.
yeah.
So
They pretty much told me, you're probably going to be going through PT for a while, which is honestly fine. I'll
Yeah.
do PT. That will be like my workout. And then just slowly just to start reintegrating to work out again. So yeah, just taking it from here. And then, yeah, just trying to keep the spirits high. I've been to my doctor's orders. I was asked to find binge-worthy shows. I have started Love Island, already on episode like 18.
Oh my
which is
God.
wild. I bought an Xbox. Well, actually, I got an Xbox for birthday, so I'm gaming to keep myself busy, which is honestly helpful because like just to keep the days rolling,
Yeah.
just um just trying to just stay busy because it's gets a little lonely in this house. So I mean, with my parents, are both retired, but I feel like I drive them freaking hella crazy. So just trying to just
You? No, I
No,
can't
never,
see that.
never,
it's
never,
true.
no.
But I'll be honest, the one thing that it just sucks is that like for example, like this is like prime tanning weather, and I want to be out in tan, but I know like I can't tan right now, especially right with this wrap on because it's just gonna if it's sweat and then it smells and can get infected.
Yeah.
So like once I get the boot, then like I'm gonna like sit on like my driveway and just like get my tan that way.
You could sit in the jungle in the backyard, bro, and just go that.
Yeah, it'll be Jungle Chronicles. So
Well, listen. I gave Kev some while I was on vacation in Myrtle Beach. I gave Kev some beach
Oh.
chronicles of
yeah,
my own.
Cyrus gave me some Beach Chronicles, which is hilarious. So
If I
I'll,
go to the beach, Kevin, I will send you some beach chronicles just to make you feel better.
please do.
Well, Kevin, I'm happy you're joining us because, Cyrus and I, we could talk forever, but let's just dive into this. We'll get through some
I didn't
stuff.
even look at it yet. Let me see.
That's fine. Um, so we've already talked about the World Cup is just under a year away. I can't wait. I'm definitely going to try to go to at least a game. Um,
I would love to try and hit up a game if that's even possible.
I'm going to see what the prices are because I think Gillette will be less expensive than like MetLife and with the US teams playing all on the West Coast. They have no games on the East Coast, which I think is horrendous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Um, so I think that's, we'll get the lower tier games over here, which is fine. But let's talk about some of the craziness that's happening in the NBA. And it's not free agency. It's freaking Malik Beasley deciding that he wants to do some prop betting on himself and other games, as well as now being sued for $2.25 million. Yeah. This dude, he was in talks with the Pistons on a 4-year, $115 million extension. And then
It,
all this news broke.
see, you just can't be doing all that. You just can't be doing all that. Yeah, there are a lot of people were showing like clips where there was like he needed to get like the spread was like 9.5, and then he missed it by like 2 points. He like sprinted down the court to get it like
Yeah.
another two
He got like
point.
Yeah,
the
I've seen
the
that.
random dunk that at the end of the game where it was like an 8.5 point spread and everything. It's like, oh, well, maybe. But they also were investigating Terry Rozier and nothing happened.
Yeah.
Well, they're also investigating Gary Payton Jr. Gary Payton the second Junior,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So they're investigating him. But the one thing I will say is come to their defense is this: they've been having that same like everybody's in with like all the prop betting with all the like with like DraftKings and stuff like that. They don't be sponsored by these guys. So at some point in time, you didn't think that somebody was going to put one in on themselves or like put one in on their team or another team that they played against like 2 days later. You didn't think that was going to happen at least once or twice. I mean, it was bound to happen, right? That's my point. It's bound to happen. Like so,
Well,
you can't. I'm not saying that they're right or I'm not saying that they're right or wrong. What I'm saying is that you can't be like solely obsessed with saying they shouldn't be doing. Like you should know this is going to happen at some
well, so I was listening to the radio up here, and one of them the guys were talking about it, and they go, well, if he's betting on himself, do you get upset by that? You know, if the over under for him is only 10 points, oh, he bets on himself to score 12, 11, whatever. Is that really a bad thing at the end of the day? You know, it's this weird double-edged sword. And we can talk about NCAA. They're going to potentially allow college athletes to bet on pro sports.
point.
Oh, that sounds like a mess.
So there's this. So the problem with it all is when you introduce gambling into these realms, right? Like use Vegas as a great example. You can literally go and bet at an Oakland Raiders game during the game at the facility because it's doubled as a casino inside, from what I've been told. You can bet right then and there. It used to be that you could not bet during the games if you were at a facility. Now you can. It's live betting. It's all these things. So you introduce this side of the sport that truly wasn't there when we were kids, when we were growing up watching these, back in the 70s and 80s and stuff when Cyrus was still like running around as a toddler, you know,
Uh,
none of this was around.
But
But like as we've gotten to a point where, let's be honest, this is in our hands 24/7, our cell phones and stuff, it has allowed us to be a part of that. So if you look at a professional basketball player or baseball player, whoever it is, they're going to, like you said, they're going to be intrigued by it. Everyone to a degree does some type of betting, some gambling, whatever it is. Some people are just smart about it. They have somebody else do it for them and they make it look, like they did nothing, right? And others are just stupid.
well, even to your point, not to cut you off, but not even to your point, they're now looking into NBA players betting on football games. But I mean, again, are you really upset or mad at that? Like, how can you be? Like, they're partnering with FanDuel, Prize Picks, whatever the thing that it's Prize Picks. I'm picking Jalen Hurts to throw for 250 plus and change. Oh, I know Jalen Hurts. I know Jalen Hurts is my boy. We went to college together. Oh, he's telling me, against the secondary, I can throw for 300. All right, cool. I'm going to bet. Like what? What are you going to say to the guy? Like he's not betting on the sport. He's betting on another sport. He just so happened he works in the same realm as the guy or knows the guy. He's in the same realm. What are you going to tell the guy? No, not to do it. And you're getting mad because he's making a couple extra hundred/thousand off of it. I don't know. Like you said, it's double-edged sword, man. What are you going to do? You're going to persecute the guy for doing something out of fun, or you're going to get mad at him for actually doing something that in his leisure time. I don't know. There's no rhyme or rhythm.
No matter what, it'll all blow up eventually and they'll figure out new regulations. Let's dive into the other side of basketball, which is the WNBA. The Commissioner's Cup final is tonight, and Caitlin Clark is not playing yet again. It's the Fever and the Lynx? I don't even know. To be honest, I have no idea who's playing in it. I've only watched like 4 WNBA games all season. Can't really watch much when my child loves Bluey, and that's all he ever wants to flipping watch.
Yep, it's the Lynx. It's the Lynx. And the Lynx are currently winning by 4.
Okay. But let's talk something more interesting. So WNBA announced that Cleveland, Philadelphia, and
Detroit.
thank you, are the next 3 teams to get a WNBA franchise. It's fantastic. I think it would be great. But the team that was announced with the Toronto Rapid or Turbo, is going through some craziness. Their president of basketball operations and president of the team has already left. They've lost their GM. They've lost coaching staff. This is the Portland team. This is completely fallen apart out there. And I haven't done much reading on it. I just kind of saw it a little bit here and there. But yeah, I don't know what's happening. But that franchise might just be dead in the water right now.
Which would be really sad because I think a lot of people were excited for that Portland franchise to come back because possibly reignite and turn back into the Portland Fire like they were in the early 2000s. I didn't even know about that. That's like been so under the radar.
Yeah, let me see. I'll look a little bit more.
But then they were also talking about possibly bringing back the Houston Comets too. Like that's another conversation that they haven't bringing back the Houston Comets. A couple of other.
Right.
I think they should bring back the Comets though. The Comets, they have 4 of the titles. They should 100% like come back some way, somehow, if somebody would bring them back.
So that one's coming. That one's definitely coming. The next ones that they're looking at are also St. Louis, Kansas City. Um, my hope again is that Boston gets one because I think it would just make complete sense. Um, but let's see. So they fired their president, Enki's son, just 3 weeks before the team is expected to launch its brand. Son's dismissal came as a result of significant growing pains and a rocky rollout. Saying countdown was on, potentially alluding to announcement of the team's official name.
Apparently, that's supposed to be on like July 15th. Their
Dude,
official.
the dude was
Yeah.
hired on April 1st as the first employee of the WNBA Portland franchise. Prior to joining Portland, he was the chief administrative officer for the NBA Players Association. So it just seems like nothing is going right out there. So
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
I wonder if he just didn't hit what the ownership was expecting. But did you
I
see
think
how
it's a
much?
she. It's a she. It says son was the first employee. She's a she.
Okay, sorry. But did you see how much Philadelphia, Detroit, and Cleveland have to pay to get their team?
Mm-mm.
250 million each.
Hey,
Honestly, I think that's a steal. Crazy as it sounds, I think that's a steal.
It's a steal, but then let's hope they put that money back into the franchises and into the sport itself because we're still looking at a league that undervalues and underpays players.
Well, I was getting ready to say that they're actually talking now. They've actually having conversations about how that CBA now needs to
yeah,
needs to be read out because of they want to start to get paid like the NBA players
I
Yeah,
don't
because
think they want to be paid like the NBA players. I think they just want more than what they're currently making.
they want to
well,
be
that,
paid.
that was the point of it. Like they want to get paid. They know by scale they're not going to get paid the same, right? They want to get paid like the NBA players. They want to have the exorbitant contracts where they can, like the top players like Caitlin Clark could come in and demand let's say two mil a year, 2 mil a year on a 5 or 6 year deal, and they got whatever that max deal is. They want to get paid like that.
Well,
Nick money.
so the thing is that one, they're a young league. They've only been truly around for 30 plus years, right? They still have to grow and they lost teams. They've only been consistent for the past 5, 6 years, right? They've started to regrow and rebrand, which has been phenomenal. It's awesome to watch. And I agree, they need to be paid more. Caitlin Clark is making $76,000 this year.
Right.
Like Cooper Flag is going to be making 13.2.
That's disgusting.
That is stupid money difference. Even a national hockey player, the first round draft pick gets like just under $1 million a year. And let's be honest, the three of us know jack shit about hockey, besides the fact that not everybody in the world watches it. Um, I do believe that they need to look at that CBA next year and say that your starting rate, even if it's they make $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, like it has to go up slowly because if they just say, "Oh, Caitlin Clark's first round draft pick, she gets 2.2 million each year for 5 years." Well, depending on how large your salary caps are and how much team ownership is able to pay, you can hamstring your team real quick. So I am excited for them to get to that. It just needs to get there a little bit faster than what they are doing now. And expanding the franchises and stuff should help.
Yeah, just to get a couple more people there, but then also they just have to remember, they're gonna get more players that are gonna be able to stay home. So I think the main basis of them wanting to renegotiate that CBA is, this past offseason you had the Unrivaled, in which they stayed home and to get some money. So for some of those people that like maybe got to go, maybe they don't need to go overseas because they don't want need to develop as much as people that are on the bench. But at least some of those people, your top guys, top gals, I should say, should are able to stay home and live comfortably as opposed to having to take another job in the off season.
Yeah. And they
Well,
got
let me
paid
ask you guys.
very,
Let me
very
ask you
well
guys.
in that
Let
league.
me ask you guys a question, right? So if for argument's sake, say they put a WNBA team in every team has like every team has like a G League team or whatever it is. Say they do the same for the WNBA. Do you think it's possible to turn, let's say, a $10 million profit within the first couple of years of existence when you have everybody having a team?
So the issue there, I think, is I don't know if we had like I don't think there is a substantial amount of talent to fill 30 teams to make sure you have like solid teams. I think you could I think with all the new teams, Merritt, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you got it up to I think it's up to like 18 now
They'll be at 18 by 2030.
by 2030. So I feel like maybe like you can get 20 teams that could probably work, but I just right now I don't think the league has enough sustainable talent to fill all those teams where they're all going to be at least with the majority of them being competitive.
I think what your goal is here at the WNBA in my mind is you hit 24 teams, you split it to 12 on East, 12 on the West, right? Split it that way, split it so that you have three divisions within each conference, right? There's four teams in each division. That makes life super simple. You play more games, which will be great. Um, but you also keep it so it's a manageable number. I think the NBA, the NFL, hockey, and baseball, they all have all these larger teams, like 30 plus, 30 to 32 teams, because they've slowly grown over years to get to that point. And now we talked about expansion. The NBA is also looking at expanding to more teams. So it'll get there, but I think 24 is really a good number, especially when international women's basketball is even better than some of the stuff that we see here. They go play over in Italy and other parts of the world because they make really, really good money in those parts of the world where actually people pay more attention than a normal American fan would.
Well, for instance, I even saw what was the girl from South Carolina, really tall. I forget her name.
There's a
She's
lot
playing
of
in Brazil,
that are tall in South Carolina.
huh? Yeah.
They're
Well,
all tall.
wow. But she was playing in South Carolina last year. But I mean, so I guess she had a couple. She had a couple team league with the WNBA, and I guess they cut her for whatever reason, or she just didn't make it. She's now playing in Brazil, and she's now making close to 100K or over for summer run. Like I really didn't look at it was on Twitter, so it wasn't like a real like I didn't get like a real good look at how much she was getting paid. It just had like her stats of what she's playing or how she's playing. So she could end up on a team and be somebody's team. Now, again, to you guys' point, I don't know if that team's going to be like super good. Is it going to be able to stand against the Caitlin Clarks, the Indiana Fevers, the New York Liberties? Like, I don't know if that's going to happen, if that would happen, right? So that's why I asked that question, because for them to when you come to the table, you can't say I want this, and you can't put out a viable product. And I think that's where the realization needs to come in. That you need to understand that if you not be able to put a viable product out, you got to understand where that money's coming from.
No, yeah, of course. That's what I think. That's the whole issue is like with the W, their season takes place at like the hardest time, and it's funny. I know you mentioned more games, but I don't know if they can sustain. I don't know if they necessarily unless you get the more teams. Obviously, more games will help. That's more revenue coming in. but at the same time, it's just hard. I think their issues, the time frame of when their season is
Hmm.
so difficult because they have to wrap up by September because September is going to be taken over by NFL on Sundays, your college football on Saturdays, and then add in the fact that NBA training camp starts along with NHL, and then MLB is obviously wrapping up, but not many people care about that, unfortunately. But I think it's just the hard part of like what they're gonna do to navigate wise. Because let's think about a couple things. I think everybody knows that the teams want more roster space so they can have like actual like reserves. Oh, look at wow. My thing just randomly did a thumbs up and I didn't even press anything. That's hilarious.
Hmm.
But um, that's one thing. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious where it's gonna be because I don't want us to go into a lockout after like all the momentum that they've been heading into. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But what's our next topic, Merritt? Because I know you wanted to keep this under an hour.
Yeah, that was my fault. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So let's dive into West Virginia because this is again a West Virginia podcast. Focus. Um,
Glossy
Football.
helmets are back.
Yeah, glossy helmets are back. I won't lie, I love both. I had no
Yeah,
problem.
I don't have a problem with both. You know what's funny? I kind of wish they would have done the glossy helmet thing as a surprise, like during the season.
That would have been a great thing to do for the Backyard Brawl,
Yes.
glossy helmet. Like all of a
Yeah,
sudden, like remember years ago when they came out with the regular helmet on, and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden they come back out and it's the old logo on the side. You're like, wait, what? Like
Yeah.
that would have been really cool if they had done something like that.
I
But I
know.
also understand why doing it now because you now reattract maybe some fans that were weren't season ticket holders, didn't go to games a lot because of the Neil Brown and Dana
Dana.
Peterson era type stuff. Now they're like, oh wait, I remember that helmet. That brings back memories.
Mm-hmm.
So that fuels that. I think, and the video though is really good, where it's like Pat, Noel, all of them, and they're like, yeah, I remember that. Like that was cool. So I can see why they did it. But again, it would have been really neat if they had introduced it at like a game itself.
Yeah,
So
that would have been a lot of fun. But good times on the
yep.
football front. It's coming back. Football's coming soon. I think are they in like summer camps right now?
Yeah, they just
yeah.
started summer camp, I think, or they start in the next couple of weeks. Um, we'll probably start diving in. This is a year that I think I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to some of the stuff that's going on. Kevin, you have nothing to do, so you can kind of do the same thing. Um, uh,
Pretty much.
I love you, buddy. Sorry. Um, but I just got the email and I sent it to you guys earlier. Priority tickets are going out uh next Wednesday
Yeah.
for season ticket holders. So I'm going to see if I can get more pit game tickets. That is going to be a pricey ticket for sure, but hopefully I can get, a few of them. And then,
I mean, even if you got one, that's one less we got to worry about,
yeah.
Yeah.
and we can figure it out from there.
Well, if
Whatever
I
you're able to.
if I did it, so my friend that I sit next to for the season tickets, she has said, excuse me, that her brother-in-law may not come to the game. So she said she might sell her ticket. And I was like, well, I might know people that would be interested. But she wants to sell it for what the face value of that ticket would be on the secondary market. And I'm like, yeah, no, I I'm I really don't care. Like to me, like Andrew's coming and I told him, I was like, yo, bro, you're paying for your part of the Airbnb gas driving this year. He's like, that's fine, whatever. I'm like, the ticket itself, I'm gonna charge you probably $120, $130 for it. He's like, cool. So it's like to me, it's like whatever, because I'm selling the Colorado tickets and I'm gonna make all my money from my season tickets back on that.
There you go.
So, but yeah, football's right around the corner. I'm excited. I'm sitting in a blue section this year, Kevin.
Oh, did they come out with an actual thing yet?
Yes, yeah. So the pit game is strike the stadium.
Oh, they designated the actual sections yet?
They don't. I don't think they change the sections of what they'll be. They keep them the same every year.
Do they really?
Yeah,
That's anticlimactic.
yeah. But
I
that's
thought
what
I was
happens
just gonna
when.
be I thought I was just gonna be surprised. I was gonna be like, hey, the next week, because I thought they would have done it that way.
No, probably not.
All right, well,
But
we'll see what happens. I
I
mean,
get to wear
honestly,
blue.
I would really love to be in a blue section because I feel like every time
We've
I've
been
done a
in.
strike the stadium, I've always been in the gold section.
Yeah, the two games that we've been to have been gold. We've been in the gold section.
Well, yeah, though that
Were they
was
wins?
2 years ago. Yes, they did win, and then I remember coming back when I first graduated college. Baylor, Dub V, the student section was gold.
Yep.
Mm,
Oh, I was still in college then.
there might be a thing. There might be a thing. Maybe gold is a thing.
No, no, no,
We
no.
did wear blue last year, and we did lose. So then maybe I don't know if we do go gold, maybe that helps. But honestly, I'm just excited for the season. Rich
Yep.
Rod is doing many things. We're literally bringing in pretty much 95% transfers, like in the building. So
Constantly.
constantly. So we'll see what happens, and that's going to be a good time.
Dude, like literally, I think every day there's a new transfer coming in and all this stuff, which cool by me. As long as they do what they need to do and we can win games, that's all that matters to me.
It's really funny. I was watching on YouTube some kiddies playing like NCAA college football 2025, and he did a series, and then he ended up being coach of West Virginia, and then he finally got a title with West Virginia. So I was like, maybe me watching this is like good juju that he could win or get close to like a nice winning season.
I tried playing with them on because we have the game here. I tried playing with them. Uh, it,
Well, you just gotta you gotta be able to understand the 3-3-5 stack, which like a lot of people when you're playing that game, if you don't understand how to use that properly, you're gonna get just tore up by certain teams. And then, depending on the air raid is like most teams just run an air raid type spread offense anyway. But the key in that game is really how to figure out the defense, which takes some time when you're recruiting, get your right players.
yeah.
But
Hmm.
I can't wait. I already pre-ordered that college football 26 because obviously I have nothing else to do. So literally, I have my goal is to start like a like a franchise and work my way to get to West Virginia.
There we go.
So I was thinking like I'll start off at like the University of Hawaii, try to get them like a Mountain West title, and then hopefully I get like I because they do like a thing like just like in real life, right before your bowl game, you can have like job offers that are sent to you, and then you can go ahead and take a job, play your bowl game, and then see you later. You're on to a next school.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep it with the West Virginia theme. So basketball, both teams have picked up some momentum, which is nice. I've seen some videos of the men's, summer practices and pictures. I, I'm happy with what we have. I think it's going to be a fun season, better than Darren DeVries and his crap season that he mailed in. Um, and then we're one of only a few schools that actually had someone drafted in the NFL, MLB, and NBA draft in the past year.
And WNBA too.
And WNBA. Yep, thank you. Yeah, so pretty pretty awesome. We're becoming an all-around sports school.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll
Yeah.
take it. I
Oh,
feel like I don't know why. Like I feel like this could be like within the next like 5-6 years. It could be like one of those like possibly. Maybe I'm getting too excited, but maybe this could be like an upward swing. Like this past year, I think was probably like as bottom as we could have gotten. But I
hmm.
feel like this could be like the final step of like, all right, we'll go up a notch, just a touch. Like
Yeah,
I'm not saying we're gonna be like national champions, world perennial program, but I feel like this is just the start of like a thing of like of a nice upswing in
yeah,
moving
you have
Yeah.
two programs that are in really good direction with the women's basketball and baseball.
hmm
And you've got men's basketball that seems to have righted the ship. We'll find out once the season starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have football who got out of college football purgatory for the past what seems to be like
Decade.
15 years. Like literally, I just feel like they've been in purgatory for since we were there.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. It is going to be fun. Like I think Kevin, I'm in the same boat as you. Is this is I'm not trusting a climb because there's no climb anymore. But you know,
No, but I think
I'm feeling it.
yeah, I mean, to your sentiment, I think it's just been just me from like just being on with you guys and then even going to my phone and looking and stuff like that, and just trying to keep up. And then like when I see something flash on ESPN, I go check and look at it and stuff like that. But it's been like a thing, like they've been slow and steadily catching up to where the above average is at. So as long as they keep doing that, I mean, the
We
sky's
just want the excitement back, I think. That's really
yeah,
what it is. The
yeah,
excitement back. Because I think like Merritt and I have talked about on many of these podcasts, if I were to go back and find some, like I think him and I watch because we're a proud alum. But like may not be as excited. Like I think for the first time in a long time with everything that's been going on, I think a lot of like fans, alum are going to be a lot more excited with like a little bit of the splash from blast from the past. Think about like the guys you got on staff now. You know, it's just it's something that you haven't had. So there's like yes, there's an expectation.
right.
Um, is it a very high one? I think to some it is, but also I think it's just an expectation to be excited about WVU again. And I think we're 2025. It's been several years. I think we're just moving towards that. So
Yeah. Well, let's go talk about our favorite subject, and this will probably take freaking forever because
Maybe
we
not.
all love to talk about the NBA. Um, the craziness that has already happened. One, the NBA finals were atrocious and horrible.
it went to a game 7 though. So like,
Yeah, good for them. And it's two low market teams, and no one gave a shit.
Yeah,
I thought it said that it was one of the highest viewed game 7s.
because there was nothing else to watch. Let's be
They
honest. There
We're
was
did catch it. Yeah, that they did catch a lucky Sunday where they literally was
we are
nothing
in the
else on.
worst part of the year for a sports fan. Like we have just baseball and WNBA, which is not a bad thing, but at the same time, like there was nothing on during that game. I didn't even
yeah.
watch. I watched like the
They,
first
I,
like
yeah, I was getting ready to say WNBA was like they made sure when they scheduled the games, so like there was no games during those that not like not it was every other if it was every other day in between was in WNBA game, but they never had anything on the same
They
day.
had, they had a game earlier in the day at like 3 o'clock.
yeah,
Right,
they had early
Remember like
games.
the Fever playing, and then right after
right.
it was the
Yeah,
finals game.
there was a couple like two of the Saturday games or something. There was like the WNBA was playing in the morning or like the early afternoon, early evening, and then the NBA game came on. But like to be honest, I didn't care about any of it. Like it wasn't right when Halliburton went down, we all were messaging back and forth. Like
I felt all his pain, like literally.
you can definitely feel all his pain.
I literally felt his pain when I saw it. I was like, "Damn, man,
Yeah.
that's." I already knew what it was the minute I saw him go down. Like, that's it.
Yeah, it's rough, but it's over. And the NBA screwed themselves with this CBA, so we have to keep watching lower tier teams go play in the NBA finals, which is not fun.
No,
To be honest, I would rather watch the Celtics versus the Lakers or the Knicks versus the Lakers or some perennially really good franchise than Indiana and Oklahoma City.
no offense. I would have rather watched Philly and Golden State go at it. Like at this point, I would have preferred Philly and Golden State. But I mean, I know that wasn't gonna happen.
Well, you know what? They just signed Shea Gilgeous-Alexander to a massive, stupid deal. Um, he is now the highest paid player in NBA history per year. Um, and now they're going to hamstring themselves with this new CBA like everybody else.
They said within 2 years they're going to have to make a major.
They're the Celtics.
They're going to have to make a major. if they don't win this year coming up or the next year after that, it's done. It's a wrap. They'll have to break up the team.
They're the Celtics. That's what they tried to make it an even playing field. And sorry, NBA basketballs, there's no even playing field. It's certain teams are dominant because they know how to win and they have the money to do it. Just let that happen.
Yeah, that CBA messed everybody up.
But then we had the NBA draft. We all knew Cooper Flag was going number 1 overall. The best move of the whole NBA draft, though, was Danny Ainge playing Danny Ainge and messing up what the Hornets and I can't remember the other team we're going to do with a trade at 4 and 6. And Danny coming in going, well, this is my thought. And then everyone's staying pat on what they were going to do. And Danny's like, Ace Bailey, let's go. Like,
Yo, that was hilarious.
You know what that reminds me of, right? You know what that reminds me of? Sorry, Kevin, you know what the meme reminds me of?
The one thing I think of is there's two. I think of Eli Manning not wanting to go to the Chargers, and I think of Steve Francis not wanting to go to Canada.
No, I was gonna say he did that. He
to
did
the
that.
Philadelphia 76ers.
He did it when they were supposed to draft Tatum. And then it did when they did Fultz, he did the same thing.
Yeah, he did
he fleeced them. He fleeced them, and
he was like, yeah,
Tatum.
I think we're gonna take Fultz at number 1, and Philly was like, well, we really want him. We'll trade the number 3 pick in this, and he knew that Lonzo was going number 2 to the Lakers, so or Kuzma, whoever it was, and it was literally like, well, I was going to take Tatum no matter what, but I'll take more draft picks and not pay Tatum, $15 million less because he got signed as the third overall pick, and then instead of the number 1, like the man knows what he's doing. But I do think, I didn't really pay attention to much of the draft because it's just the NBA draft isn't as exciting as it used to be.
They split it into 2 days. I didn't realize that first time.
Yeah, first time
because they invited everybody that was going to be picked up until like the middle of the second round to be in the room. So they said they didn't want to not have that kid show up or not be able to get the recognition that everybody else did.
Honestly, I think that's a great way to do it. Like,
yeah, more money, more viewership. So like the Barclays Center. So they put it, the first round was like literally where like the court was. They had a set up there like they normally do for all drafts. And then what they did was for the second round, it was like a small portion of the Barclays Center, where they made it like a smaller like draft room. And then it was like very small, which was cool. Because then you got to see people walk up there. They got to shake the commissioner's hand. Speaking of walking up there, Javon Small, Dub V alum, picked by the Grizzlies. So
they really like freaking West Virginia guys, don't they?
They do. Yeah, they picked Javon Carter years ago. They had him on the team, and now they got Javon to, it'll be interesting to see him pair up with John Morant. We'll see if hopefully he can make the team first.
I think he can.
The G League for a little bit.
I think he'll make that team because that with the way that the Grizzlies been playing and Ja's been in and out of that lineup, they'll need him. So
yeah, but hey, I guess I was told that the Celtics got the steal of the draft with Hugo Gonzalez from Spain. I have no idea who this dude is, but apparently he's like 6'7" and got bigger hands than Kawhi Leonard.
There's a couple guys in that. There's a couple guys in that draft that actually got teams that got better. When I mean better, I mean they got not substantially better, but they got better. Like Charlotte got better.
Better.
Charlotte got better with. I mean, again, I'm not trying to be a homer about it because they took Knuppel at 5. I mean, they took Knuppel, they Knuppel at Charlotte, but
I won't lie. I think Knuppel is overrated.
But
he should not have been a number 5 overall pick.
No, but
he's good.
That's the wave of this generation. That's the type
what I'm saying.
That we got left. But no, speaking of, I think players we got to watch out for out of this year's draft. that 15th overall pick by the Blazers, Wang Hansen,
Yeah.
Oh, the surprise pick that no one saw
supposedly,
coming.
possibly, his potential is a possible Jokic. I mean, hey, if that's what it took to get DeAndre Ayton out of Portland because he couldn't drive down his driveway, I mean, hey, do it.
Apparently temper tantrums too with
Yeah,
Aiton.
wild. I'm very interested where he's going to end up. I have a feeling that he's going to end up on my Lakers somehow.
That's what I
But
thought.
I'll be honest with you, because nobody wants him.
yeah,
That
I'm
right
saying I
now,
don't know if I
that
really want him
yeah,
if he's going to complain.
yeah.
But then again, we won't have to worry about him driving in snow if he's in the Lakers, and he should be making it to his games because there should be no ice when
Well,
he
there's
drives.
traffic.
Yeah.
I think he'll be able to deal with traffic as long as there's no ice on the road. So
Well, let's keep going. So another thing that's happened in the NBA is the Celtics literally got rid of every salary that they needed to,
wild.
um, without giving up draft picks.
Yes, that's good. That was they great moves on there, and they got Anthony Simons, a young guy, to get some minutes because he will play with Tatum not there.
Well,
And then
the rumor is that he's going to get moved.
oh
There,
wow,
I'll be honest with you, there's a bunch of guys that are probably on my like they got picked up the first couple of days, but they're probably going to get moved later on down the line, just because they need
But
to see how the second order stuff is going to happen. That's all.
Yang's definitely gone. No one in Boston wants that motherfucker on our team. We all hate him. Because he played for Philly years ago and grabbed Jaylen Brown's knee after a shot. So we all hate Yang. So he can go. Just go off
I
the
lost
board.
Cornette this year, unfortunately.
I know that's sad, but at the end of the day, like they're now just over the second apron again with this new signing of Josh Minott. Um, so they just went back over the second apron, but they're still going to dump salary. So if you dump Anthony Simons, he's making $27.8 million. Wait, you're then under both aprons. You can still dump Niang and you get further underneath. And there's always the rumor that they're going to get rid of Hauser. This team right now is building not for this upcoming season, but for the year that Tatum comes back.
Oh yeah,
The rumors are that they are just going to try to tank so they can be in the top of the lottery, and try to go after that kid from BYU who's from Boston.
shout out to
Well, yeah. What's happening now is this though, right? What's going to happen is they're building the teams through the draft. So all this free agency and trades and stuff like that, it's irrelevant. Right now the game plan is just to build through the draft like OKC. I need to get 2 stars and I need to get a bunch of other guys and get 2 stars through the draft, get really great role player. Then I need to get a bunch of guys that are going to come in and play that are young enough where I can still get something for them. That's the game plan going from now on. So anybody that has older players or anything like that, you can see the moves right now. They're trying to move these players along so they can go back and get draft picks / younger players. So they can say, hey, this is what we're going to do. Because the blueprint is out there, right? You need to get 2 stars, a third guy that's going to come in and contribute, and then you got to get a bunch of role players. That's the game plan. That's what they need to get. They can't get it, they're not going to be able to do it.
I mean, I think you got to also take consideration like who just won it this year. The way they won it by good drafting and being able to dish out their salary in the right way and not doing super teams. The era of super teams is officially over. So
Thank you, LeBron James.
Yep. So that's over. So like it's kind of wild. I forgot who I saw this online with. Pretty much we went from like think about a couple years ago where our free agency was like KD, Kyrie, like DeAndre Jordan, Kawhi, and then now we are raving about like Nikhil Alexander Walker like having a huge payday. Like that's where we're at. Like that is literally where we're at in the NBA, and that's what it's gonna take for people to win. It's going to take like literally those type of players that you're unfortunately you might be overpaying for, but that's what the recipe for success is right now. So
Like we've said too, we can harp on it all day if we want. The CBA really did screw these players and these teams over, with what they agreed upon. So my hope is that the next time this comes up that they go after the CBA and readjust it. Because at the end of the day, I want to see teams build through the draft, but also get big free agents. Get these guys that can come in and do, you know, you saw what Porzingis and Drew Holiday did, and they're both acquired, but via trade. But you bring those guys in that are stars. People want to watch that, right? People want to see that.
Right.
No offense to Indiana. No one wants to watch that unless you live in Indiana. No one cares about watching Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who, I'm sorry, is not an MVP in my mind. He's just barely better than Luka Doncic. So, like, I'm sorry, but no one wants to watch that either. We want to watch Philly. We want to, even though they're a dumpster fire, we want to watch Philly. We want to watch the Knicks. We want to watch the Lakers. We want to watch the Celtics. You know, Denver's up
The big
there.
market teams, the big market teams.
But you know what? We love the small market team of San Antonio because they built a great organization. They keep building a great organization. So like those are the teams we care about. A lot of the other teams we don't. The Bulls, no one cares about anymore because they haven't made a playoff run in
Well,
feels like forever.
I'll
But
say this as a Bulls fan, the referendum on them is that they keep trying to retread the same things. You can't retread the same things. You have to find out and figure out a way to get back to where you get a superstar. Now they've gotten young talent. Don't get me wrong, but they haven't gotten to the point where they got superstar talent, and that's their problem. But to Merritt's point, nobody wants to see the team that they currently put out the last 10, 15 years because it just isn't that good. The product isn't that good. Nobody wants to watch.
yeah,
So,
but let's talk about some of the moves. We already mentioned um, Luke Cornett sadly leaving. Um, let's do quick conversation about the trade though between the Bulls and the Cavaliers. I 100% think the Cavs just got a lot better in that trade.
they did.
They got Lonzo Ball, who came off of, we all know the worst sports injuries you can have with that knee. And he is now going to either be a backup or he'll be a starter, depending upon what the Cavs continue to do. But you actually now have a ball, a playmaker and someone that's going to just really look to pass the ball and get that ball to the scorers. And they didn't have that last year.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great trade. Some
Well,
of the
you gotta thank Ty Jerome for messing up his deal. Ty Jerome went and saying, "I want big money." Cleveland was like, "Yeah, I'll see you later. I don't think they give you big money."
I did like some of these moves though, like Memphis is getting some decent guys. Cam Spencer's not horrible. The Clippers are making big runs. Apparently, the Clippers are in running for Chris Paul again. That'll be
If
interesting.
either Chris Paul's either wants he wants Houston or he wants the Clippers. Either one of those teams,
Well,
whatever.
they're not going. He's not going to go to Houston because they Fred Van Vliet and all of that, and the money they just gave to Jabari.
Oh,
Well,
Um,
you didn't even talk about Kevin Durant going to Houston.
oh yeah, that was. They've made fun of that trade so much up here with his reaction at Fanatics Fest, where he's just like, "Yeah, I just got traded." And it's like, you knew this was happening. Okay, good. Um, I don't think it makes them much better. Like I said, I don't think it makes them
no,
much better. They,
It gets
they,
them into the Western Conference Finals, I would think.
I think it gets him to the second round. I think,
yeah, I
and
think
the only reason I don't think it gets him to the Western Conference Finals is because Durant is 37 years old. He hasn't had a good productive season for at least 3 seasons now. What
He
which
was on the Suns, and the Suns was rough.
he was also on the Nets with really good players around him too. I just think he is at the point in his career where he should be what he was when he was in Golden State, right? He should be the third, fourth option. Truly. That's where he's good. And he is a stud. I love Kevin Durant. I think he's one of the best all-around scorers we've ever seen in the NBA. But he's not he can't be the scoring lead on that Houston Rockets team all season. Like he
Let,
has to
let,
defer to
let
other
me,
guys.
let me pose a question to you guys. Would you prefer Kevin Durant in a motion-based offense where there is no real true superstar getting the ball, or would you put him in a ball dominant sort of role where he's coming off the screen, or he's the screen and roll, or a two-man game on a consistent? Where would you rather that?
I think the first option, the free flowing, would be the best. Um, but at the same time, if he's not getting the touches and stuff, I could see him also being the guy that's going to get pissed off.
See, I actually think like he's better off being like his throughout his entire career where he's kind of won is where he's kind of the guy to get that ball though. But except Golden State, he was blessed with five other people that can score the damn ball on that team. But like I think he plays better in your second option, Cyrus, where he's the guy to be getting that ball. In which at Houston, he will get that ball. He'll have some help. He got the Segun, Fred VanVleet's all right. He's got Thompson on the team, one of the Thompson brothers.
Hmm.
But I think it's just we'll see. Like I thought Rockets got a little bit better. Is it maybe for them to win a championship? No, because I think we got to see what else they do this summer. But yeah, I think it's just this has been a very interesting 2 days of free agency. Um, we didn't
My
even talk about what's
yeah,
it called.
yeah, no, but I'm sorry. So my personal opinion would be, I think the first option, just because I think to Merritt's point, if he is the third/fourth option on the team, he doesn't have to. He could shoot 20. He could take his 16 shots and be effective and score 35. Right? He doesn't need to take 25. He doesn't need to have the ball in his hand 80% of the time. And now it saves him until the playoffs, and then and eventually when he gets maybe to the Western Conference Finals. But I mean, again, I don't know what the offense looks like right now because they still got moving pieces of where everybody's going at. But
And they kept
yeah,
Steven Adams, so I think that's awesome too.
And adding the fact that other teams are making moves. Like I'm literally just looking on the Twitter right now. Denver just got signed Tim Hardaway Jr. to their team.
Hmm.
And that just in addition to them when they acquired Cam Johnson from the Nets.
They got rid of
They
Michael
gave
Porter Jr.
Bruce Brown just re-signed with them, and then they just traded for Jonas Valanciunas, which
That's
that's that's I think that's probably one of the bigger ones is him to going to Denver to kind of pair up with Jokic as his backup. I mean, talk about a solid big man through his entire career can average a double double, 10 and 10 easily. So
well, that I'll be honest with you. If there's a surprise team to come out, Denver could be it because now Jokic doesn't have that when Jokic plays on that set. Jokic doesn't have to play with that second group, and that second group now can play like they did the first group.
right.
So now they don't. The flow doesn't really change. It sucks that they got rid of Mike Malone because I think he was really helpful with that. But I mean, I don't know. Where they again, and that depends on who comes in as coach. That you still have that same type of offense, right? I don't know. It's really hard to
It's true.
say.
we'll see. I'm excited. You know, but we haven't talked about one of the craziest things that happened today.
Oh yeah.
The Milwaukee
Getting
Bucks
released.
signing Miles Turner to a 4-year, $107 million deal, and then waiving Damian Lillard and extend and pushing out his money because they owe him $113 million so that they could sign Turner. And apparently Giannis was pissed, but Dame is like elated and excited, like not to be on that team.
I mean, honestly, Dame to Milwaukee was just a disaster for the minute he got there, which is super unfortunate because I had high hopes for them.
They
But
also traded him so late too that screwed him up.
yeah, but I think it'll be nice for him to honestly just rehab. He'll be back with his family, take care of himself, and then if he was able to come back next year at some point, which they said highest projection would be him going at around like after the All-Star break. Can you
Mhm.
imagine a refreshed Dame and he's just chilling on the open market and go wherever the hell he wants for a team that's trying to contend for the
I
playoff?
could, if you looked at a team right now going into next year that you go, you add him at the end just to push to get, and he won't be a starter, right? He's going to need to come off the bench for a while,
Hmm.
but like I could see him going to a team like say Detroit, who made a really good run, or Orlando, who
Oh wow, him going to
really
that would actually be
like
wild.
those two teams were making great pushes at the end of last season, and Detroit, I think, is getting better. They just signed Duncan Robinson, who's a three-point shooting specialist and doesn't know anything else of basketball.
They traded for him,
Oh yeah, sign and trade. Sorry, I just saw that. Um,
and
they
they're going to need another guard because Schroeder just signed like 45 million to go to the Kings for whatever reason.
money, dude.
Yeah, that was money. That was all. That was
Because
Yeah,
remember, Schroeder screwed himself and didn't take the $80 million deal from the Lakers 3 or 4 years
idiot,
ago,
absolute idiot.
and went to the Celtics for like minimum, and then left. Like, so I think those would be teams. Or if he wanted to go back to the West Coast, I could see him being a guy that the Clippers look at, or even someone that the Nuggets look at, where they say, "Hey, maybe the experiment with Westbrook didn't work, but Dame isn't Westbrook." Maybe that be an option because you could be your first guy off the bench for that team and take a lot of reps off of the needs from everybody else. So those are four teams I could see him going to. And maybe a surprise one is down in San Antonio. Depending upon how they do this year,
Yeah,
if
I,
they can make a push,
yeah,
I
yeah.
would say that you're looking at those five teams to make a real good conservative effort to get Damian Lillard on their team.
Especially knowing going into next year, like you don't have to really pay him, so you can sign him to like a 2 maybe 3 year deal, and give him like a player option on the second half of that deal, just to say,
Yeah.
hey, listen, if you feel as if you don't want to be here anymore, so be it. You bounce out, we're
He's
cool. We
he's
can,
also 36 years old, so he's coming off one of the worst sports injuries you can get. Um, so he's making his money. He's already made a ton of money, but he'll sign up, you could just sign him to a veteran minimum.
Yeah, because he's already making 22 million for the next 5 years since Milwaukee got to pay that, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
So
You just get
so
chump change.
he can just go, this is my tax money. I have to pay. This is my tax money that I have to, or whatever he wants to do with it. So I think that's what he'll do. But um, let's quickly jump over to one other thing. NFL is literally right around the corner. NFL training camp starts in a couple of weeks. Thank God. So then we have more sports to talk about than baseball. My
Mhm.
God, we are in freaking purgatory and hell right now.
what's baseball again? I'm sorry, I
I don't know. The Red Sox, I just know everyone keeps telling me they suck, so I'm just going to go off of that. Um, that's it. That's all I know. But football is right around the corner. I know we are. This was a conversation we had last year, but there's potential of at least a few of us maybe making it to one of the last games in Buffalo this year. We'll see. Um, I
If
will.
we're able to do that, that would be actually pretty epic.
I'm going to work on that. I'll reach out to Harky about that to see if there's any opportunity or potential to do that. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, football's nearly here, so that means every Sunday I get to be on the smoker and smoke up some food and watch some Patriots games.
Can't go wrong.
No,
Well, again, Kev should be excited. I mean, he's got Aaron Rodgers, he's got Jalen Ramsey, he's got Darius Slay, he's
Yeah,
got
sounds
no.
he's,
right.
he's got legit
I
chance to make a run to
I
Kansas
did.
City.
I am sad losing Jersey native Minka Fitzpatrick, sending him back to Miami. So, which kind of helps because I have a Minka Fitzpatrick Dolphins jersey, so I could still now that becomes relevant again, and now I just retire a Steelers jersey. But that steel curtain D is pretty wild, and we got a new starting tight end too to match up with Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith, who had his best year ever
And
this
then you
year.
have Darren Waller going to Miami.
Shout out to him unretiring to go to Miami. I think it's hilarious.
What's wrong with people, man? Like listen, you screw. Listen, he messed up with it. He messed up with Kelsey Plum. He messed up with it. Now he wants to come out of retirement and go play. Dude, just sit there, relax. Hey, he's still getting paid.
Hey, he's gotten a lot more shape now. He took some time off. He was strong enough to do high rocks this year in New York City. So I mean, he's probably excited, wants to get back into the game. Let him do what he's got to do. If he works out, he works out. If it doesn't, hey, he's still got tons and tons of money that the Giants are probably still paying.
He's got more money than us.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, duh.
Sorry.
But you know who doesn't have more money than us?
Who?
Antonio Brown. He filed for bankruptcy.
What?
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's what happens when you are crazy.
At least he got to pass over some money over this way before he lost all of it.
Well, that's all I have tonight. Kevin, do you have anything to add? Did we miss anything? I know you've been kind of probably paying attention to more stuff than Cyrus and I have because you've been just chilling. So,
Well, I was on vacation this past week, but
I just got this notification, according to the voice of Morgantown, four-star guard originally in the class of 2026, Amir Jenkins, he's the number one rated player in the state of Massachusetts, has reclassified and is committed to play for the Mountaineers in 2025 for the men's basketball team.
nice.
So that is pretty cool. Because we don't have any point guards after the end of this year because the only point guards we have are graduating seniors. So that is very helpful. But yeah, that's all I pretty much have.
Actually, I have one more thing. Remember we talked about the other day, really quickly? We talked about homegrown talent. At what point in time do you think homegrown talent just stays for their sport?
I mean, it really depends on the homegrown talent. Like the team there is able to show that these kids are worth staying home.
I just don't understand why some of the kids leave. Like, cause they were, I was reading, I think I sent the articles over during our chat in the chat. I was like, I don't understand how some of these guys are leaving. Like the one kid, like I said, the kicker from West Virginia, who was supposed to stay, wind up going. I forget where he went to, but he went out of state. But why would you not stay? Why would you not stay in state, knowing full well Rich Rodriguez is back and we were going to put up ooze of points to get to show off your leg? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, you know what? I get it this way. Like, kid wants to experience college and go away from home. And now that he's getting money to go away from home, sometimes that talks. And then with the way college football is looking now, he could probably have like a year at this whatever school that he's going. And I know you're talking about the number one punter in the nation from
Right.
Jimmy Guy or so whatever the hell his name is. But he can always come back. I
Yep.
mean, he's a West Virginia guy. Maybe like we've seen plenty of West Virginia guys who were like top in the class where they done a year or two elsewhere and they came back home. So there's still a chance, especially in this day and age where transferring is like just as common as sipping on your Stanley in your Stanley water bottle. Like it's ridiculous, but that's all I got on that one.
All right. Figured I brought that up. That was something we talked about. So.
Beautiful. Cyrus as the new number 2 co-host right now, as I'm on the injured.
God, no, he's not. You are still the number.
I'm still number 2. I am number 4. I'll stay at number 4. I can't take away from Andrew and his burger barn, but I mean,
shout out to Drew, working hard. You're working really hard. Shout out to you, Drew.
Yep. All right, guys. It is 9:30. I have to go to bed.
Yes. Cool. And
I'm
then
old.
shall I outro us out? I haven't done this in a while.
Yeah, you got
Yes,
this.
sir. Yeah.
All right. So, outro time. It has been a long time. I don't remember what episode alone. Let me look what episode this is real quick. This is
18.
episode 18 of season 4. Still rocking and rolling. For those of you that have still been listening to us, we appreciate you. If you've been listening to us, keep on listening to us at all streaming platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and I believe it is Amazon Play.
I think so.
Go ahead and make sure you listen to us and watch us on the YouTube page at the Mainly Musings Podcast. Make sure you follow the Instagrams. You have Merritt at Merritt_P. You have me at Cueva624. Make sure you follow our newest co-host, number 4 seat, at Cyrus Johnson Jr. Make sure you follow the Instagram and the TikTok at the Mainly Musings Pod. And know what they say, take care, respect your hair. Cheers to your Stanley, and we will see you guys soon.